Welcome, beautiful Davina. It's such an honor to have you here. I feel like us connecting has been a long time coming in the sense of I just feel like our souls are destined to connect in this way.
Absolutely, of
Of
course.
course,
Yeah.
it doesn't even surprise me anymore.
No.
Doesn't. So many people were telling me you need to meet Davina, you'll love Davina. And it was just, it almost started to get a bit ridiculous. I was like, okay, I'm reaching out to her and I'm so grateful that we have connected. And we've actually just spent the last hour having an interview on your podcast. So I'll put the link below and definitely check your podcast, your work out. So thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank
Oh,
you for being you.
oh, thank you for being you. I've just obviously I've just swooned over you for the last hour on my podcast, but truly I knew there was something in me today that I knew it was just going to be a great day. And your energy is it's just when you know, you know.
Yeah.
You know, it's when you know, and you are just a big expander for me, which I never knew I needed. I never knew I needed a Hillary in my life. And
Oh.
now I know. So thank you. Thank you for listening to everyone telling you that you need to meet me because I've been hearing the same things as well. So finally we've made it happen. I'm so happy.
Yes. And it is that interesting, that soul resonance, that energetic resonance where, again, we can't explain it. You can't explain why you feel so connected to a certain person or a
Yeah.
thing. And it's just that trust and allowing. So I did want to start because you are an incredible energy worker, you are a healer, and I would love to speak about the power of understanding our energy, frequency, understanding how we operate, because a lot of us are walking around like a floating head, so much just living from the mind. So yeah, can you please speak a bit about your work and
Yeah,
what
for
you do
sure.
for
Well, I
people?
think honestly, I was a floating head for a very long time.
Same.
Yeah, just kind of on autopilot and going through life, ticking the boxes until I got to my point of everything just changing, life turning itself upside down and me really just being left with me. And there was a period of time where it was almost unbearable to sit with myself because there was just lots that was coming up and out and absolutely I was outsourcing different people and different modalities and things to help me with myself. But there was just, one point in time where waking up just felt like as soon as I woke up, I had anxiety and
Yeah.
it was just fucked. Like
Yeah.
not even my coffee would make it worse. Like
I know.
everything was just, it felt really all consuming. And I remember there was this one day where I sat on my bed and I'm like, the only way through this is literally through it. Like I
Yeah.
have to sit in this and go through it. And I just remember it was like my throat felt like it was closing up. And
Mm.
usually when us as humans, like when we have these bodily reactions or what we call anxiety or fear or whatever it is, jealous or all of these interesting things that pop up in the
Mm.
body, it's so easy for us to distract ourselves away from it, whether it be through food or through drinking or through sex or whatever. But this one day I was like, you know what? I'm actually just going to sit in it.
Yeah.
And I think it was the first time I'd ever really just gone into my body and actually felt that it felt like hands around my throat and just really noticing where I felt that and what it felt like and where it started and where it ended. And then the more time I spent in there, it was interesting. I could see colors or I could notice it looking like a rope. It's funny what shows up when you actually are curious about what's going on in the body and how the mind or how you perceive what it is. So I just took my time kind of sitting in it. And before I knew it, my hands started moving and I started moving. And then it was almost like I was pushing it up and out. And as soon as I got to this one point, it was like the floodgates opened and I just cried, like this really intense, almost primal cry. And it felt like it came from the depths of my being.
Mm.
And then after I felt fine. And I was like, the what was that? And I actually had to journal because I was like, I don't know what just happened then, but
Mm.
I think I just worked with I think I was just doing something with my energy. And then I spoke
Mm.
to my shamanic healer and she had always told me every time I went in and saw her, because I would do big journeys with her, 6+ hours. And she would always say to me, you have gifts, you are very powerful. You're very powerful. She's, you've been here, you've done this a million times. You've been doing this for years. And I just never quite understood that. I was like, what do you mean I'm
Mm.
broken? Why
Mm-hmm.
could you possibly mean that? And then, yeah, from there, she wasn't surprised at all. And from there, I just started wanting to learn more about energy. So enrolling myself in like Reiki courses and just listening to more podcasts and reading more books and just so many different, like Abraham Hicks and like all those
Yeah.
sorts of different things, starting to find my way. Like I've always been quite spiritual, but this was like another level. It's energetics and spirituality and quantum physics and that whole mind body connection, mind body, world connection. And yeah, from there, it just snowballed and has never stopped since. And I'm still learning every single day. But yeah.
And that's it. I just want to reflect back to you, especially as a 2-4 projector, in the sense of I always feel that too, you have so much wisdom within you. And it's like you move through life and it just awakens what's
Yes.
already within
Well,
you.
yeah, it's like a
A
remembering.
remembering.
Yeah.
And so all the twos in my life or in my work, it's like, even if they come and learn human design, I'm like, yes, come learn because it's a new language, but then almost forget everything because you already know it and it just awakens something within you. And so with when what you were just sharing with me, it's like your body intuitively knows. And we do these things and it's like, why are we doing this? But then, as you said, it's like when you actually go through it, and that's so brave. That's so brave, honestly. And then you're like, okay, it just actually passed it.
Yeah.
It just passed. And from there, it's like a new energy of freedom within your body. And so I just want to remind people, yeah, can you speak about the emotion in the body? And especially, I think, for women with that throat,
Yes.
not speaking their truth. And what was also coming up as you were speaking, like, this is generational. That's not just your stuff.
Totally.
It's like
Yeah.
our energetic things that we're moving, and you get the gift of being able to heal it. Or if you get the awareness around it, our generations didn't have the awareness around it. Like, what an opportunity, what a gift that you get to not only heal for yourself, you heal down the generations and up the generations.
That's
So,
it. Yeah.
yeah,
And without me having to like point my parents into these certain directions, like with me doing my own healing and realizing my own things over the years, it's healing them and
absolutely.
they're seeing it and they're understanding it a bit better and they're becoming more aware themselves. So it's a gift that keeps giving when you invest the time and energy into yourself. Like it really pours and leaks into your community and the ones that you love around you. Even the way we share on social media, like just me sharing helps heal people just from what they can take out of whatever it is I need, whatever it is I'm saying in that moment. So it's beautiful. It's been really beautiful. But I think one of the biggest ones, like, yes, absolutely, working with energy has been like the biggest profound shift. But I think something that was almost more empowering and more liberating than the understanding of, oh, whoa, I can be in control of, well, not in control, but I can manage and I can process and I can
You have the
regulate
choice.
myself.
Yeah.
But I started, especially with being single, like I was celibate for a really long time. And then I was really worried about how I was ever going to be intimate with another person because I didn't know myself on that level. Yes, I was getting better at regulation. Yes, I was understanding energy better. Yes, I could start working with energy, seeing and energy and all that kind of stuff. But there was also this really deep wounding for me when it came to really truly allowing myself to be my biggest, most expressed self. And just randomly one day I was like, this is really taking a turn, this conversation, but it's
Divine.
one of the biggest pivotal moments in my journey. And I decided I was going to buy a crystal wand because like when it came to like self-love and self-pleasure and stuff, it was very like, basic surface level.
Very physical, not metaphysical.
Yeah. And I was like, there's something there for me. And I'm actually like, I had to get myself to a space where I had created enough safety within myself so I could even go to that step, right? But for me to be able to go to the next step with another person or let anyone else see me, I actually had to walk through this myself first, which is something that I think women don't get the chance to do as they grow. It's always like they don't really get to meet themselves at their depths, in their full vulnerability at their core, and have a good hard look at themselves and love themselves in a really big way. Because we've been conditioned to not, we're not good enough. We need to change our things, that we're not pretty enough, all the things. So yeah, I think de-armoring and working with my womb space energetically and like actually taking the time and the slowness and having compassion and having the courage to work with my womb space in that way as well that is what changed everything for me. Changed everything. And my connection to self and my connection to my energy and my connection to my world around me, it changed everything.
Well, your womb is like the world. Like it's the birthplace. It's the
yeah,
most powerful
it's our
creation.
portal.
It's our portal.
Yeah.
And I had the exact same experience when it was like I just felt numb there. It was just like numb, neck down, basically, but especially in my womb space. And that connection meant that's your wisdom. That's your creative energy. That's your life force. That's your divinity and your love. So I think, yeah, a lot of women, we can even be afraid of that power.
Yeah.
We can be afraid because it's easier to live in our world if you're disconnected from your knowing, if you're disconnected to your truth.
Yeah.
Because life does not support a woman in her power if you're not allowing that.
Yeah.
And what I'm trying to say is like a woman connected with her womb and in her truth is a force.
Yeah.
And she's not controllable. She's not conditionable. And when you can let that be safe, because then the stories come up of, but will I be loved then? Or will I ever find a man then?
Yeah.
Will I be in relationship then? It's no, that will actually be the aligned relationships with me. They're the type of relationships I actually want to be in.
Totally.
And the type of work that I actually want to be in. And you start to see your whole life reconfigure around you to now align with the true you rather than the afraid version of you.
I used to reconfigure myself to make it work for the world.
Wow.
Always.
Yeah.
Always. And it takes time. Like, you're not just going to have one magical womb healing session or pleasure session and be like, I'm changed. I did. Like, I was changed after the first time.
That can be an option.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But, it takes work. And that is the work. It's coming back to yourself. How much more can you hold yourself? How much more can you love yourself? How much more can you soften into yourself? And how much space can you give yourself to feel all the things, not just the beautiful, blissful, amazing alignment things, but the heart-wrenching guilt, pain, disappointment, grief, all those things. Because there was a lot of grief that came up for me as well, because I looked back at these older versions of myself and I was like, I'm so sorry. Like I felt so sad for myself.
Yes.
And I just was like, wow, like you never saw it. Hey, like you never saw how special you were. So yeah, I think I'm at this point now where I am so in love with my life. And look, my life's not like I'm not a billionaire. Like my life is just,
you don't need to be.
It's just my life. But I wake up and I have so much gratitude and I can really sit in the pleasure of these really small moments that to old me, I probably would not have even noticed because my inner dialogue was so busy telling me about how wrong I was or how fat I was or how I should be doing more. So I think, that connection to yourself and the remembering of like, no, you are exactly where you need to be and you don't need more. You actually need less.
Yeah.
And it's like the slower you go, the faster you get there. Because I was always, what's next? What's next? What do I need to do? Where do I need to be? How much more money do I need to be making? Who's the next guy that's going to love me or give me validation? And then, you strip it all back and you're left with you. And it's, well, are you happy there though? Because if you're not happy there, nothing else is ever going to be suffice.
Oh, gosh. I just had, we both got teary there for a second. I saw both of us thinking of our past selves.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I just would remind you, I'm so glad you're sharing this, like how you just said this. It's like, this is self-love. This is real self-love of like sitting in your emotions, sitting in the grief, sitting in the stories. And actually it just reminded me as well, like we were speaking about Pilates earlier. And I remember I used to just go and annihilate myself in like these like HIIT classes and all the things. And it was all coming from a not enough place and like something's to fix.
Yeah.
And now when I exercise, it's like from so much love. And at the end, I'll like, even when I've worked really hard, I'll just thank my body and be like, thank you. You are so strong. I love you so much. Yeah. And I remember before I would like, as I'm leaving an exercise class, I'd be looking at the one part of my body I didn't like and be like, oh, and it just amplifies it more and more.
Babe, I was a PT for 10 years.
Yeah, wow.
And it was like, I knew I wanted to be of service for people, but I didn't realize why PT wasn't the right thing. It's because everyone that was coming in, it's like they weren't working out because they loved themselves. They're working out because they hated themselves.
Yeah, exactly.
And like, it's such a beautiful shift to see now what's happening with women. It's no, they actually want to invest in themselves because they have compassion for themselves and they want to love themselves a little harder. And like back in the day, it was just such a very like Fitspo there was just not enough awareness, I think, especially for our age.
I know, it was.
It was a rough time growing up at, And just, yeah, like the beginning of social media and all that stuff. And I think also too, being in social media, my whole career has always been on social media. So there was just that added extra layer of who do you need me to be? Yeah.
And I think like life will give us the opportunity, almost like the amount of how important it is for you is like how much the challenge will make for you. So like your soul chose to have such a big experience around this of like
Yeah.
true self-love, self-respect, like creating that love within.
Mhm.
So of course, you know, you have a big social media and of course you get thrown into this world. Of course you end up becoming a PT. Of course these things because it's okay, but are you like, who
You
can you
have to
be in
learn.
this?
Yes.
Yeah, you could have done it in different ways, but it's like it really became a high stakes game. And
Yeah.
then you're able to share in a big way, you
Totally.
know?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of people that are like, "Oh, do you regret this or do you regret that? Do you regret the TV stuff?" All of those things. And I'm like, "You know what? No, because I had to walk the walk. Like I really had to go through that in order to be able to drag myself out of
Yeah,
it to then be able to help others."
absolutely.
So it was my biggest privilege, the life that I've lived, because it's okay, I understand it because I've been there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's this idea of your pain becomes your purpose.
Mm.
And it's always, even as you're just sharing, of course, you're helping women now with energy work and with connection to their wombs and connection to themselves. And
Which is so like you'd never think that even 4 years ago, if you were to be like, Davina, you're going to be an energetic
yeah,
healer, and run retreats and help women connect back to like their
yeah,
sacral center and like their womb space, I'd be
yeah.
like, what the actual fuck does that even mean? That is a beautiful word salad, but what does that mean? So, like we were talking just briefly before, I don't know what the future looks like for me or for this work.
Yeah.
All I know is that I'm just going to keep following it. It develops every day with every new person, with every minute that I spend on myself, with every experience I throw myself into. It is changing constantly, but as are we.
Absolutely.
And it's just, I don't think we're ever going to fully know the extent of our divinity. I don't think we're ever going to fully know our true potential power, like as humans and these beings. But what a fun ride that we actually want to start exploring. And it's so fun. Like the women that are coming into my world now, they're interested. They're like, I want to know about my energy. Isn't it so funny that we've been ourselves for this many years, like 30 something years, but we're like, actually, I kind of want to get to know myself now after 30 years. How beautiful.
And so important, especially as
Mm.
women, exactly as you said. It's like we're so conditioned to be like, who do I need to be for you?
What mask do I need to wear? Yeah.
Exactly. And like, how can I contort myself? And I think I remember like you'd be on a date or something and it's like, I will be your best date you've ever had in your life. Like,
Yeah.
what do I need to do for you to love me? Like, and it's so subconscious.
Yeah.
And you mentioned this, and I really want to dive deeper because I had a really similar experience of this self-forgiveness journey. I remember being in a ceremony and moments in my life of every single time I basically gave away my power and to the smallest things of like wanting to be validated externally. And it would, at one point, it like took me through me walking through a nightclub being like, who's looking at me? Just like so much ego, but so much just like insecurity it actually is. And it took me through all these moments and being like, okay, see this, and that's not you, but so much forgiveness to that self that felt like she couldn't say no or felt like she had to be something she's not.
Yeah.
And yeah, can you please speak about how important it is to truly see and forgive that parts of ourselves? Because I think a lot of people can hold a lot of shame.
Yeah. I think one of the easiest ways that I came to terms with having more compassion for myself is kind of like looking at myself as three different people. So it's like there's the little girl me, and then there's like the current me, and then there's like future me, like highest self me. And there's so many things that I could look back at and be like, oh God. But then I also am like, well, I love her.
Yeah.
Like I look at my younger version as if she is my child, as if she is my daughter, Mila. And like, how could I possibly hate her for things that she didn't know any better? Like she was just learning. So there was actually another thing that I always prescribe this to my clients, but there's a beautiful prayer, the Ho'oponopono prayer.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is exactly, babe, we're like the same person. I did this exact in a room here and then I did that prayer.
Yeah. And that prayer was like my mantra.
I know.
And
I was
anytime.
hysterically crying, saying that prayer over and over, being
Yeah.
like, I'm sorry, thank you, I love you.
Yeah. So it's, what is it? It's, I'm sorry, please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry, please forgive me. Thank you. I love
Yeah.
you. And anytime, because there was a lot of guilt and a lot of shame and a lot of embarrassment when I came out of my marriage. That prayer got me through so much, because it was like I actually couldn't be alone with my thoughts, because I would spiral hard. And it's just the same thought. We don't
Yeah.
have 99 problems. We have one, but we
Yeah.
think about it 99 times
Oh,
per minute. So if we can, not saying distract, but if we can replace it with something that's a little bit more empowering,
yeah.
like that prayer,
Yeah.
that actually really healed me in a big way. And saying, I'm sorry, please forgive me.
Yeah.
Thank you. I love you. It's just this it was, yeah. And also just allowing myself to feel, like whether it be hand on the heart space, hand
Yeah.
on my stomach, you know, that sick feeling in the
Oh,
solar plexus, or the
yeah.
sick feeling in the heart, where you're just like, oh, this is just actual hell. Just sitting in it
Yeah.
and crying with it. Put some Adele on, put some sad music on, and allow yourself to feel and be messy. I actually have a reel that I'm so close to posting. I've only just started getting a bit provocative with my somatic stuff, because no
Good.
one has really sees the extent of
Yeah.
what my rituals are at home and how I move through my emotion, because it's like, it's a lot. And I think the more permission you give yourself to be able to sit and to move and to cry and be messy, like swamp in
Yes.
your grief and your anger or whatever it is, the easier it is for you to be able to move through it. And when these things come up, yes, we're always going to be triggered. We're always going to have this pop up, or anger or sadness or grief or guilt or shame pop up. But it's okay, cool. Let's move through it, and then we can move out
It
of it.
passes.
Yeah.
It processes. Like
Yeah.
energy, it moves through you.
Exactly. And I just the other day, you know what? I'm going to send it through. I'm gonna
Please, I know. I
upload
was
it.
like, yes.
I'll upload it today. And
Because this is the whole thing, even just what we were speaking about, the controllable and conditionable, like by you showing and by you like brushing up to the limiting thoughts and being like, no, we're moving past this. That's the
yeah.
that's the ultimate. That's the expander.
Exactly. And it was
Yeah.
so funny, because at the beginning I was like, I think I was just moving to, it was like Billie Eilish Ocean Eyes,
Yeah.
because I knew I had something. There was like something that was just
Yeah.
bubbling, and I didn't feel like
feel it.
working out. I didn't feel like going for a walk. Like
Mm.
usually you'd go exercise or something, but I'm like, I don't even really feel like doing somatic stuff, but I know that I probably should. And it just started, honestly, me like on the ground moving. And then it started like maybe moving my arms a little bit more, and my head a little bit more, and my hips a little bit more. And then before I know it, I'm starting to yawn, which is like a really beautiful process. So, you know, when people start actively moving their energy, you can start to do things like yawn, or maybe tears will start coming down, or burping is really normal as well. But I was like, oh, okay. And then I started feeling good, like some nice pleasurable feelings were coming through. And I was like, that's great. Before I knew it, it was actually one of my favorite songs. It's like a Tash Sultana song. And I was like, oh, I love this song. Absolute mess.
Yeah.
Absolute mess. Puddle of tears on the floor, wailing. No idea what it was, by the way. That's the thing. We don't always have to make sense of like why these things are popping up or make meaning of it. It's just like, how can we be like a compassionate witness to what is showing up without having to judge ourselves for it, or without having to make it mean something? Can we just hold ourselves and move? And so I was just like, and then let it go. And then I was laying on the ground. It's almost like that post-sex feeling where you lay and you're like,
Yeah.
what the
It's
fuck
energy.
was that?
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay, went upstairs
You keep-
and like was the best mum ever for my daughter. And like, and that was like, I think it was like 14 minutes.
That is the thing. And so we're so afraid to, like, people can be so afraid, like, that if you start to feel it, you're going to be in it forever. I get it. It's scary because it's uncomfortable.
Yeah,
But
especially for people who've been suppressing their whole
exactly.
lives.
I
Yeah.
used to suppress so much. I used to wear it as a badge of honor of being non-emotional. My
Yeah.
sister, I would see that she was way more healthy. And at the time, I thought it was erratic.
Weakness
But now,
or- yeah.
weakness. And I thought, stop, you're creating chaos here. You know, I was want to be the good girl. And now I look to her being like, no, you were just telling the truth and you were processing your emotions. Beautiful.
Mhm.
But it's so interesting that you say this about the meaning. Like, the meaning was what creates a spiral rather than just see it as energy moving through you. And I'm exactly the same. I put on music, I start shaking, the tears come. And it happens before some of the biggest moments of my life, especially, for example, before every retreat, I have a massive cry, like massive cry, hysterical. Like, I see it as an initiation. It's just energy moving, and it can be a constriction before some form of an expansion. And again, we were just talking about it. Like, it doesn't have to make sense. Why?
Yeah.
And I think where we get stuck is where we try and make it make sense. And we're like, is my whole life wrong now? Does this mean it's the wrong decision? No, it's energy moving through your body.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let it.
And when you also take the story out of the
Yeah.
emotion, or you take the story out of the process, it becomes easier for you to take the story out of life, the story out of like the things. So if you can start to like actively process, and you can look after yourself, help reset your nervous system when you start feeling dysregulated and whatnot, you start to minimize the stories that you're telling yourself about the things that are happening, because it could be something so small, and our stories can get bigger and smaller as our
Elaborate.
cycles, like especially in luteal, you should hear my stories.
Yeah.
So it's funny, the more we can start processing, basically that's all it is. It's
Yeah.
just us being able to sit in our energy and move energy through us and have compassion for ourselves and feel it, is just us processing, which means we don't store it, which means we have less trauma in the body, stored in the fascia. And there's less weighing us down, whether it's emotional, mental, spiritual, on a soul level. All of these things impact us on a physiological level. And the more that we can look after ourselves, like I call it spiritual hygiene. It's just look after yourself, your emotional state, your mental state, just by processing, whether it's journaling, whether it's moving, whether it's just sitting on the grass and just being present for 5 minutes, noticing the things around you, engaging your senses. What can you see? What can you taste? What can you hear or smell? Just getting yourself into the present moment and being embodied in your body and out of the mind. Yeah, it's like process it. It's so important.
It's so important. And I think we have to be so clear when we roll our eyes at it or think it's not important, that's actually like the way that we have been controlled.
Yeah.
Like we have to go, I remember I went in this like full thought process around this of even like the witch trials, even like the feelings of women that were the medicine women being put down and they're crazy. All this idea that you're crazy. If you have an emotion, you're crazy. That and you see it of this internalized patriarchy, even in females, or misogyny. Does this mean I'm too much? Does this
Absolutely.
mean, can I trust this intuition? Any form of competition between women. And it's like when you actually see that this is suppressing our energy and suppressing the feminine power, any form of limitation around that is like, we're doing it for all women.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Totally. And I think, look, this is probably a projection, but for me, look, I'm just going to say for me, I think the reason it took me so long to step into my full embodiment was because I really didn't think that would be palatable for the type of man or the type of people.
You shouldn't be palatable for this current consciousness. Like,
honestly, you should see the people in my field now.
Yeah, exactly.
So like that top tier, look at you, like top tier humans, top tier men, conscious kings, incredible, wealthy, conscious, fucking successful, embodied women. No wonder I found it so hard, because I thought that if I changed, I would be rejected. But in that, the thing is, the more you grow, there is going to be a period of isolation where, the people who aren't meant to be in your circle will start to fall apart and fall away. And that's so fine. I think it's just trusting that anything that is for your evolution will not be bad for you. It might feel uncomfortable for a moment and there might be a bit of fear, but stepping into a version of yourself that feels peaceful, that feels more calm, that feels more unshakable, unbreakable, who has bigger boundaries, but also in the softest version of yourself. Anyone who is limiting you accessing those parts of yourself is not for you. And if you are worried, if you're listening and you're like, oh, I love the idea of this, but I could never because it's too big, then maybe start looking at the rooms that you're in.
Yes.
Start filling those rooms with different people that expand. Like I was saying, you're an expander. That start expanding your idea of what could be possible for you in this life.
And it's energy. It's like, it's when you're in these types of spaces and around these people, it brings out and it raises your frequency, your energy. I even recently felt this where I was just having a low energy day. I went and got a massage, and I swear she just must have been, I know you'd be doing this, like just giving so much love. And I walked out of there being like, I am a goddess.
Yeah.
I love my body. I love myself. And nothing had changed.
Yeah.
It was her, I swear. And I even said to her at the end, I was like, that was energetic, wasn't it? And she just looked at me like nodding. Yes. She was like a Mexican young girl. She would have only been 20.
Yeah.
And I think it's important to trust how your body feels around certain places, certain people. And exactly as you said, I had the period of so much isolation that was in my Berlin stint. We spoke about it in our other podcast, where I think there is some time where you're like coming back to your own energy and almost emptying out what no longer aligns. And then moving forward and really checking, is this coming from an expansive energy or am I still acting out of fear?
Yeah.
Because then it just multiplies. Again, energetically, it just multiplies whatever you're bringing, it will continue to multiply. So if you're judging, I remember that was a period where I realized where I was like judging other people because I was judging myself. And when I stopped judging other people, then I no longer also as well, when I stopped judging myself, then I didn't feel these projections of judgment elsewhere because it's you and you. It's like, yeah.
Totally. Yeah, totally. And I'm still learning. Like, I'm still learning. I feel like you'd probably be the same. Like, with every week, with every month that goes on, like, you are forever moving forward. You're in a upward motion, right? And as you reach that new level every time, it's, oh, wow, you're unlocking these new understandings. And there's always going to be that conditioning where you're like, oh, but it's just beautiful. Like the biggest investment that you could ever make is on yourself in this
Yeah.
lifetime, truly. And even if it does mean just like sitting with yourself and feeling your heart space
I
or
know.
feeling that pain in your tummy, you know, when something's triggered you and sitting through it. Because if you can handle that and you can move through it with love and compassion, like you best believe your outer world's going to start reflecting that kind of love and compassion and softness to you as well, with the people and the places and the opportunities and the experiences. So the more time, I look at it as a game now. It's like, how much can I love myself? How great can I make my day? Even if it's the shittest day ever, I'm like, how can I make the most out of this? And you better believe that the nicer I feel about my day, or even the little things in my day, that takes up, the little things in my day take up like 99% of my day.
Exactly.
So that's a fucking pleasurable life I'm
Yeah.
living, with full of just little things, because I choose that. I'm choosing to sit in it, or I'm choosing to process the bad. Even the bad is beautiful feedback. I know what's triggering me. I know where not to go tomorrow. I know what not to do tomorrow. I know how to start making better aligned choices because I know that choice made me feel terrible. Beautiful. Thank you for that feedback. Thank you. The amount of times I say thank you out loud in my day, like just little things, because a little thing of my intuition will pop up and be like, oh, you shouldn't put that there. You should put it there. I'd be like, thank you. Shouldn't put that there. Like you have to. And that intuition gets clearer and clearer. And I'm telling you, like you will become so divinely guided that like you will be unfuckwithable with, honestly. Like it's a superpower.
It is. And it's like, God, oh my God, so with this. Because I think when you realize that by your energy, it's like creating your whole experience around you. And
Yeah.
I love that you just said that, because even this morning I went for a swim and just say, I was like, thank you, ocean. And that changes your energy around it.
Totally.
And then you keep moving in that energy because I've just thanked the ocean, rather than being like, okay, now I got to go get ready and I got to do blah, blah, blah. And then the whole world responds differently to you in that. Because I think energy is not ever good or bad. It's either high or low. And so when you are in that higher energy, you attract more of that higher energy, and like you attract people like, you know, like you and everyone around you, because it's like attracts like.
Yeah.
And so you mentioned this as well about attracting the people that you have now in your life, and you probably didn't expect those types of relationships or people existed. And I think there is something to be said of, you have to be the energy of what they would want to connect to as well.
Totally.
And especially in dating, especially in friendships, where it's like, it always starts with you first.
Yeah. And my perspective, actually, this is a cute story.
Yeah.
My perspective on dating's been really interesting because, one, I haven't really been dating at all. And I've only just kind of
Dating yourself.
I've been exclusively
Yeah.
dating myself, but I've just started like kind of meeting a few new people over the last 6 months, whatever. There's been a few people coming in and out of my life, and it's been really interesting understanding these different personalities, but then also what they bring out in me.
Yeah.
Because I've been in solitude, I'm like, oh, so it's not even about the people anymore. It's about how I am and who I get to be with these people, right? Which is amazing, because I never had that option before, because I was always like, what do you need me to be so I can have you as my thing?
Yeah.
So the other day, this is the first time I've ever done this. I was walking back from Pilates, and I was just in such a high vibe because I chose to go to Pilates that day. It was like the day before that time of the month, which I would not usually do. Honestly, I'm really changing at the moment. I'm like,
Yeah.
what if I do all these things? Cowgirl boots today, Pilates yesterday. I don't know. Anyway, I was walking home And instead of thinking, I think I always had this mindset about the one being like, but when is he going to come? And no. Mainly because this psychic I saw, like at the beginning of the year, said that I'd meet him in September. And I'm like, where the fuck is he then? But anyway, I was
Yeah. I
walking.
don't like psychics for
Yeah.
that. I know.
I'm like, where is he? But
Yeah.
anyway, I was walking and instead of like just thinking any like my usual Davina thoughts, which I am on top of, but they do kind of slip, like
Of
the lack
course.
slips in there.
Of
I
course.
was like, I wonder if you're thinking of me right now. And I'm like, because I've been thinking of you so much. And I'm like, I'm like, I wonder where in your life you're at right now. So it was this really interesting old soul conversation I was having in my mind. Like, I'm talking to this man who I know 100% is in this life for me. And it's just this beautiful waiting game as to when my person's going to come. And I'm like, we've had so many lives together. Like, I wonder what our last life was like because this life's been so interesting. I can't wait to tell you about my life and what I've done and who I've changed into. Stop, you're going to make me cry. And I've never had this thought before.
Mm.
And it was like, yes, I know you're not here right now, but there is a part in me that recognizes the fact that it is inevitably going to come to a point where you're here
Yeah.
in front of me physically, but I
Yeah.
know you're here.
Yeah.
And I've never had that knowing that I know
Mm.
you're here. The knowing that I used to have was like, what if I end up alone? It was like
Yeah.
fear. So now it was just such an interesting inner dialogue. And I'm like, whoa, who is this like old soul that's talking through me right now through my dialogue? It was really interesting. I actually didn't think it was that big of a deal until
No,
you
it
nearly
is.
started crying
No,
then.
it's so beautiful because I remember I had this exact realization again of the people that you're going to maybe love the most in your whole life. You may have not
Haven't met
even met
yet.
yet. How beautiful is that? Like there
Oh,
is someone walking around in this world or someone that hasn't yet been born that could be the most important person in your life and you haven't even met them yet.
yeah.
And like it's just so beautiful that knowing. And also I just truly believe that if you're thinking of someone, they're thinking of you. And
Yeah.
absolutely whoever he is, the lucky man, he would have been thinking about like, where's my woman? You
Yeah.
know? And this is where you kind of you focus on your relationship to yourself and all the things that you're doing. And then again, let it not make logical sense how you end up meeting.
Yeah.
And it's always this funny thing where you like look back and you're like, why did I ever worry? But it's
Mhm.
just, it's like, you know.
Yeah.
And I think as well with this, it's as you said, it's like loving the person that you are with them. I think we sometimes think that, yeah, it's just like you love that person, but it's no like you love who you get to be with that person. It's because love is a internal experience. Like no one can plop love in you.
Yes.
It's like your love is in you. So you even loving yourself as a mother and like who you get to be as a mother.
Mhm.
And I feel like, again, that like self autonomy around that of, yeah, it's all your journey here.
Yeah.
You never have to wait. You never have to wait to be grateful. You never have to wait to feel fulfilled. You never have to wait to feel loved.
Yeah.
And then they're just more and more mirrors to reflect it back to you as they come in your life. So that makes me so emotional that you're like, that you felt that energy and just being like, because I absolutely, he was thinking at the same time.
I think I realize now, like, I absolutely had to go through this whole thing. Like,
Yeah.
there is no way that King would have been a match with me 5 years ago. Like, we're going to meet each other exactly where we're at. And I just, no wonder nothing else worked out too,
Exactly.
like that old version of me was not in alignment. Like she would not even be in alignment with this friendship,
Yeah.
with this
Yeah.
version of Davina. I
Yeah.
wouldn't know her.
Yeah.
So it all makes sense. Like the years of crying, the years of processing, the years of going through the depths and, having that beautiful relationship again with pleasure and receiving and being actually able to receive and feel worthy and have that self-worth. It was all needed to happen because I know what's coming for me is going to be so incredible. There's no way I want to sabotage that with my old outdated belief systems.
Exactly, exactly. And can you please speak a bit more about receiving and also investing in yourself?
Yeah.
We've spoke about it briefly, but I think, yeah, it's so much guilt around that. And it's
Yeah.
what it gives you and how it
Yeah.
ripples on effect is so much more important than just thinking that you're not worthy. It's a reflection of whether you feel worthy or not.
Yeah, I think we've been conditioned a lot that
Yeah.
our worth is tied to how much we produce or how
Yeah.
much we can do for others or how selfless we can be. Especially when it comes to being a mother, there's a lot of martyrdom in motherhood where it's like, I am only worthy if I am the best mother or if I am the best wife. So when it comes to women actually, one, investing in themselves, it's like, where do I even start? Like, I don't know who I am outside of being those titles. And two, like, it's hard. Yeah, I think it's just hard for women to actually be able to receive. Like we're very good at providing in so many different ways, like especially love. We
Yeah.
provide so much love and nourishment, and we're so nurturing to those that we love around us that when it comes to us actually being able to receive it, it's almost like it's lazy. It's
Yeah.
lazy
Or
of us to sit back and receive and be.
I need to have earned it to deserve it or something like that.
100%.
Yeah.
Well, that was something that came up in my ayahuasca journeys
Yeah.
in the Amazon. It's like one of my ceremonies was like extremely pleasurable. And I'm like the
Wow.
self-love queen, right?
Yeah.
But from the minute it started, it was like everything felt so good. It was like the edge of orgasm for 6 hours. But it was so hard for me to sit in because I was like, but don't you want me to purge? Don't you want me to work hard? Like, do I need to unpack some trauma? Like, surely it can't be this, honestly, being like, surely it can't be this good. Something bad's going to happen in any minute now. And what she was showing me, she's, wow, like, you say you want all of these things. You say you want this beautiful, pleasurable life. You're teaching people how to live in their bliss and all this stuff. But here I'm giving it to you on a silver platter. Can you handle it? And it was so uncomfortable. I had to go through all of this conditioning and these beliefs and these stories that I had told myself for 30 something years of that I was only worthy. I could only receive if I was giving in
Yeah.
return. But it's no, like, there is so much to be grateful for. And there's so much pleasure in the world that you get to just have. But it's like we choose not to.
Yeah.
We choose to struggle. And that's actually quite hard for people to come face to face with. It's no one's putting this on you. It's you
Yeah.
against you. No one's making you do this. You're choosing this. So to surrender can be really hard for a woman. But yeah, I think being able to, I think it becomes easier to be able to receive and to sit in the pleasure when you are able to process the bad as well. Because I think it's easy to suppress the bad and then only be able to access a portion of the pleasure, because when you're suppressing one side,
Yeah.
you're also suppressing the good. So the more that you can sit and feel the bad, unfavorable emotions, the more you're able to marinate and sit in the good emotions. And I always tell my clients, I'm like, yes, absolutely, journal, do all the things, process, blah, 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 blah. But when something feels good, even if it's like seeing a rainbow on your drive home, embody that. Sit in that feeling in your chest. Sit in that feeling in your stomach. And that's also when I'm talking about like the processes where I'm like on the floor, singing, dancing, or whatever. Yes, there might be like things that are popping up that feel quite like heavy. But if things are feeling good, like sometimes it's gasmic and you just have so much beautiful like energy, like life
Yeah.
force, that's it, running through you on a cellular level that sometimes it can feel unbearable. But it's like, how much can you sit in this? Because the more you can get used to these beautiful feelings and the more you can get used to processing the unfavorable feelings and emotions, the better like your quality of life and how big and how fully expressed you get to be in this life. It's just, yeah.
Mic drop. Wow. Yes, Davina. And yeah, because I think we live in such a world that's so numb. And so it's actually uncomfortable to even feel joy. To some people,
Totally.
it's uncomfortable to feel pleasure. It's
Yeah.
uncomfortable to feel sadness, all of it.
Well, yeah, most of us are so used to feeling the other side of things that when it
Yeah.
actually comes to receiving and feeling the pleasure and feeling
Like
the
rushing
happy,
out of it.
yeah, it's like waiting for what's to go wrong.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I recently was thinking about this time when I was young where it was like a beautiful day. I remember I had like chocolate cake and ice cream and like I was like, it's the best day ever, mum. And then she decided it was a time that she was going to tell me something that I found quite hard to receive. And I remember in that moment being like, okay, don't be too happy because then you'll get bad news. And like
Oh,
I feel like it's really powerful even to just reflect because things happen in our lives and we create big stories around it. And so then I'm like, okay, well, don't be happy because then bad news will come. And it's nuanced. We're complicated little beings, and then we make it more complicated for ourselves. We make things harder than they need to be, especially as you said. And I just believe that when you become consciously aware of something, that's why awareness is so powerful. It's, oh, I just became aware of this little, very niche story of don't be too happy because then something bad will happen. And you hear it a lot. I think it's
Yeah.
just a very typical anxious thought of everything will fall apart. Like it's almost too good. It's all going to fall apart. And so
Yeah.
then we create this negative energy around it. And so it's just like being aware, as you said, of the story and being like, okay, I can sit and understand that this is something that I'm, I guess, believing right now, but
Yeah.
it's not my truth. And I can come back to how would my higher self act? And I, as a last question, I would love to speak to you because you have just come in as a, speaking of life force, you are embodiment of life force. When you came out of your car, I stopped, paused, squealed, took a photo of you, just your whole energy today. And we haven't spoken about your cowgirl boots on this episode. We spoke about it in the last episode. You in this mini dress and cowgirl boots, radiating, absolutely radiating, honestly, bringing the energy. Even I was like, oh, we're bringing it today. Speaking of like transmission of energy, I just felt, oh, okay, Davina's
Yeah.
bringing it, I'm bringing it. And so, yeah, can you speak about acting as your truest, as your highest self and all the shifts that you've been able to make in your life just from being her?
Yeah. Yeah. Like I was saying to you off air, honestly, I don't really recognize myself. Like week to week, I'm feeling and looking different. And I'm not saying that this happened overnight. Like this has taken a lot of time and effort, but investment as well, like investment in myself. And I've chosen to tell myself the story that like I am worth it.
Yeah.
I am worth it. I'm changing the script and I have put the time and the effort into just coming back home to myself and the remembering of, oh, in fact, you do get to deserve this. So I'm starting to really see the fruits of my labor where I'm showing up in such a different way and I'm feeling really different and my outer world is looking different. It's all different. And I have to tell you, one of my favorite things to do, I just randomly will go online and buy like packets of seeds, like different flowers, their seeds, and I'll just sprinkle them around the garden every now and then. And then in like 6 to 12 weeks, they all start blooming. And at the moment, I did this with roses a while ago too. These were like probably a few months ago. And at the moment, I've got like this rose bush that popped up, but it has all these buds. It's got like 20 buds on it. And I was just like, okay, it's here.
Oh,
The blooming has begun. And I remember when I planted that rose bush, like where I was at and what I was doing. And now I'm looking at it and they're starting to bloom. I'm going to take a photo and send it to you.
please.
And it's just a beautiful reminder that it's never too late to start.
No.
It's never too late to plant the seed, even if it's one small thing or two small things daily that you can commit to that is helping you become her, helping you get closer to that vision of her. Because before you know it, she'll be here and you're not going to recognize yourself and you're going to be in fucking cowgirl boots on a Thursday talking to your new best friend in like some Gold Coast studio. So it's so worth it. And I think it's nice to hear those stories because like, guys, there was a period in my life where shit was going down, big way, huge way. And it could have been so all consuming and I could have chosen to do less and retreat. But it's no, I kept choosing me every single day and choosing me in the smallest ways of what will be my most nourishing breakfast this morning. How can I nourish my body a bit more? How can I get a little bit of sunlight today? How can I spend a little bit less time on my phone? How can I process this like weird feeling in my tummy? How can I just be a little bit more grounded? How can I regulate my nervous system? How can I drink more water? Like, it's just, that's the work. It's asking yourself these questions over and over again and checking in with yourself because you're worth it. Like coming off autopilot and understanding that the more that you pour into you, the more you're going to be able to pour into the people around you, but from overflow. You won't actually ever have to pour. It's just overflow.
Life force.
Yeah.
Oh, powerful. Davina, you're on fire. Thank you. And I think that's just such a powerful reminder to finish on around, you know, the seeds you plant right now, like they will bloom and they will bloom in ways that you can't expect or you can't foresee or you can't plan out. And just trusting that because, and even have it as a practice where you visit past versions of yourself that, forgiveness, love, compassion, and embodying the version of you that is your truth and is your fullest expression. And we all need to buy some. Yeah, we need to all buy some cowgirl boots.
Yes, please. Yeah,
please. I honestly was like, I'm going to Brisbane after this with my mum, and I was thinking, I was like, where could I find some cowgirl boots on James Street? Okay, great.
Yeah.
So how can people find you? Thank you so much, by the way. I'm obsessed. How can people find you? Your retreats, your work, your energy
Yes.
healings, all the
Yeah.
things.
All the things. So my business is called The Upgrade. You can jump onto my website, The Upgrade by Davina. All of the things are on there. But the best way to get me is on Instagram. Your girl's always on there. I love it when people slide into my DMs. So if you have any questions or anything, you just want to chat, come my way. But yeah, thank you so much. I've had the best day.
Thank you. I was just thinking, you are such an embodiment in how you teach and what you teach. And it's been such an honor to just be in your energy this morning. Like, you really, when I say it, when you opened that door and I just saw you, I was like, oh, this woman, like you radiate and you have a very high frequency and energy. I don't know. I was like, I'm not in that many spaces or around people that often like you. So,
That is the
no, I
most
really,
divine compliment, and I'm going to really receive that.
yes,
I'm
see
going to
it.
receive it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it means a lot because I feel the exact about you. So, and it's funny, mirror, mirror.
Yeah.
What you see in me, I see in
Yeah.
you. And yeah, it's always meant to be.
Yeah, it's just always so nice when people are, yeah, when you're doing what you're meant to do in the world. Like I fully
Mm.
see it in you. And like even just watching how you've moved and how you've spoken today, even like with speaking with other people in the studio, I'm like, far out, this woman's amazing.
Oh,
Like you're fine, all the things. Like it's so it just gives me so much happiness and hope for the world as well when I see women like you doing the work that you do because people need to be in your spaces.
oh my gosh, the
Seriously.
feeling's so mutual. You're
Yeah.
stuck with me now.
I
Like I'm never
happily,
leaving.
happily. So yes, I really recommend you diving more into Davina's work, into her Instagram. So I have a friend, our mutual friend Maddie, who went on Davina's retreat, said it was absolutely life-changing. So I'm very excited. I'm definitely going to be there for the Amazon.
Yeah, I'm stealing you. You're coming to
Yes,
the
I'm coming
Amazon.
to the
Yeah, you're going to be my
Amazon.
guest. You're
Oh,
coming to the Amazon. It's happening.
absolutely.
Yeah.
I already knew. I already knew. The second I saw that you were there, I was like, I'm going to go there with her. So very excited. Thank you so much. Thank you everyone for listening. I'll put all those links below. And yeah, I feel like just as a little finishing reminder, like when you are connected with yourself and doing your work, all the things, yeah, like the people you attract has been the biggest gift in
Mm-hmm.
my life.
Yeah.
So I feel like, yeah, you're a little manifestation for me, big manifestation for
Yeah.
me. So thank you.
Likewise.